All right, check it out.
One of the biggest highlights that I particularly like was a lot of the old school artists came back out and dropped new material, because there's this stigma that, once you over 40 and 50,
right,
you can't drop dope material no more.
Right.
So all the artists, all the top tier artists came back and dropped new projects, and it was all banging. There was no disappointments. You know what I'm saying? So far as hoods,
maybe a little.
No, I mean, for the most part,
like D was saying,
9 out of 10.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All of them was just straight fire, and there's ones that we're going to put you onto if you don't already have them in your collection.
No doubt.
This is going to be the Mood Slingers particular picks of old school artists, boom bap artists that came out in 2024.
All right, run it.
So here's the list. This is in no order.
This is in no order. How
this
they
is
came
in order.
out.
We're just leaving off, and then we're gonna comment on. We're gonna give the particulars on that particular album.
Okay,
that sounded crazy, but okay. All right. So, old school artists to drop 2024. Old school artists. So don't come in here.
No, don't say old school. You say golden era, because
golden era, yes.
Most of them are from golden era. Yeah, I'm saying is when they got the fame. So we go just limit it to that.
So don't come on here and talk about, Meg Thee Stallion. No, we're not.
Yeah, exactly. There's plenty of people that
golden era.
Right. Plenty of people that dropped in 2024 that had good projects. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we're specifically talking about golden era artists that kind of, made their niche in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? That is still being relevant today.
Okay. Yes.
All right, run it.
Off the top. First things first. Pete Rock and Common, The Auditorium, Volume 1.
No doubt. Right.
Snoop Dogg's Missionary.
Mm-hmm.
LL Cool J's The Force.
Right.
Eminem's Death of Slim Shady. MC Lyte, One of One.
Right.
Rakim, God's Network. Ghostface Killah, Set the Tone. Fat Joe, The World Has Changed on Me. Master Ace, Richmond Hill, and Beat Miners, Stifled Creativity.
Okay.
All right.
That's a decent list.
Now, there's some honorable mentions that, that are our personal favorites, and I feel that we have to give those particular people a shout out. Now, like I said, this list is not incomplete. If there's some that you feel we missed, then drop them in the comments. But the honorable mentions go to Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Please Don't Cry.
Yeah, the dope project.
Yep. Spectac and Amiri,
The Homies.
Beautiful Soul.
The Homies.
Those are our personal, what I'm saying? That's our personal thing.
Put out a nice little project.
Yeah. And Black Mall, The Laboratory 2.
No doubt, on the production tip. So if y'all producers out there like good content, my brother Black Mall's got a nice project that dropped this past year. You know what I'm saying? Nice. So what was your favorite project out of the ones that you talked?
So let's talk about both. Let's talk about both our favorites that came out. That it was like pretty much like everybody's favorite. It was Grammy nominated in the whole nine. It was the Pete Rock and Common Auditorium Volume 1.
Okay, all right. So if you want to start with that,
yes.
I mean, from listening to that project, me personally, it put me back in the days of Resurrection.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Some of it gave you that for water for chocolate feel, but most part it put me back in that Resurrection feel. Common, you could tell he got his pep back. You know what I mean? In the studio, and I think that's mainly because of the production side of it. You know what I'm saying?
It was good to hear Pete Rock production, what I'm saying, back on the mainstream, because he was definitely feeling the vibes. He was just like they had a whole tour,
right?
And he was like, "Yo, I ain't nothing like this."
But my thing is too, though, Pete kind of stuck with what made Common. You know what I'm saying? He didn't take Common outside of his element.
No, Pete Rock is one of those producers, like he'll tailor make the beat for you. I've never heard a Pete Rock beat that was too much for a particular MC. Right. It's like whatever MC he's producing for, it's like that beat actually fits that artist.
Caters him, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay.
All right, so what's your next one?
Next one is Snoop Dogg's Missionary.
Okay.
Snoop Dogg, it didn't give me that feel like, say, Doggy Style, or, you know what I'm saying, nothing like that.
Right. But you evolve.
But sonically, when you hear,
yeah.
when you hear how crisp that album sounds, it's like, I don't know what type of studio Dr. Dre
yo, you
uses,
just took the words out of my mouth. I don't know what studio they went to produce this shit. Excuse me. But Dr. Dre, yo, man.
I mean, besides being Dr. Dre is always gonna, you know what I'm saying, give you that sound. But that was like the best produced album sonically wise.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Okay. Who did you want to make mention of that you heard of?
Fat Joe's album was pretty decent.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I give him props for that. But Rakim's album was dope. He had a lot of features on it. You know what I mean? I wanted to hear more of the God himself.
Right.
On a lot of cuts, but it's a good album to listen to. I enjoy listening to it. You know
Rakim is one of them artists. He don't even really need features.
No, exactly. You know, that's why I was surprised. You know what I'm saying? But again, I can understand it. You know what I mean? The God giving other people the platform, you know what I'm saying, do they think?
Yeah. So that was it was dope in that retrospect.
Yeah. Also, Ghostface album. I like Ghostface album. It was pretty decent.
Ghostface.
One album I'm gonna get on. You know what I'm saying? That I really wasn't feeling like that. You know, lyrically it was there, but it just wasn't. It wasn't what I was expecting from these two, and that's the Q-Tip and LL album. You know what I'm saying? That's just my take on it, my personal view. You know what I'm saying? It only speaks for me. Don't speak for nobody else. You know what I'm saying? But you know,
let me put it to you like this: when you heard LL Cool J and Q-Tip was coming out with a project, the first thing, at least for all of us, and y'all have to concur, the first thing that went in your mind was LL gonna rhyme to some Tribe Called Quest beats.
Right. Over some bells and vibes.
We was excited.
Right.
Couldn't wait.
But no. Okay. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? Because you thinking Tribe Called Quest. You know what I'm saying? That type production, you know what I'm saying? And LL, you know, rhyming over that. But even in the Tribe Called Quest days, LL was a little bit more rugged. You know what I'm saying? For those type beats.
The thing is, Q-Tip is another producer that'll tailor-made a beat for whatever particular artist it is, because he's produced for other artists. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he didn't make these beats for
it just didn't,
because
it just
it was a whole different. Yeah, it was.
It was one of those things where you try to like, okay, let me listen to it 2-3 times.
Yeah, if Q-Tip was on those tracks, it'd have been dope.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that was more Q-Tip style.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that wasn't him. I'm sorry. I wasn't feeling
like
that.
The one that he did with Rick Ross and Fat Joe. It was just like I tried. it just didn't give me that. Oh, you just wanted that feeling like you had, like, you know what I'm saying, when you heard Midnight Marauders, or when you heard Mama Said, like, I thought it was gonna be a combination of Midnight Marauders and Mama Said Knock You Out. That's what we were.
That ain't what we got. That ain't what we got.
It's not what we got.
So, like, anyway, what you think?
The next, like you said, MC Lyte's album.
MC Lyte's album. It was
MC Lyte's album.
It had a couple joints on there. You know what I'm saying?
It was definitely in pocket.
I think the thing that got lost with her too was she kind of got away from her element in production wise. You know what I'm saying? I think.
Well, it's not the same. It's not the same producer that she always had. So
no, not at all.
It's not going to be that sound like when she had, like, when you know, like all the favorites that we just know and love. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like, it's one of the things about this day and time. It's just production's just totally different. It's like it's hard it's really hard to think somebody from the old school is going to come up with a project and it's going to give you that nostalgia, like when they first came out, you know what I'm saying, in the 80s.
What I'm saying is it can still be done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it just has to be with certain producers that can still give you that feel or give you that type of nostalgia. Right. You know what I mean? So to speak. So know what I'm saying? Big ups to them. You know what I mean? And remaining relevant for all these years. You know what I'm saying? And still being on their game. You know what I'm saying? This year, there's a slew of artists, you know, from the golden era that's still coming out. You got Nas and Premier supposed to be.
We waiting for that one. Yeah, y'all can't disappoint us with that one. That cannot disappoint at all.
I think Red and Melf is dropping a new one. Red and Melf, they're dropping a new one.
Yes. You know yeah. We need some new.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So,
that's one that we didn't mention on the list. Redman's Muddy Waters 2.
Oh, Muddy Waters 2. That's exactly right. I forgot about that. That dropped. I was expecting a little bit more from that too, but
no. I mean, but it was dope.
It was dope. It was dope. Now it was dope.
It was dope for Redman. So
it was dope.
So my bad for forgetting the Muddy Waters 2 album. Actually, Muddy Waters 2 has been one of the more talked about, most acclaimed albums.
One of the more celebrated albums from last year.
Like that came out on the end of last year too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, Fat Joe and all of those, Snoop, they dropped in December and stuff like that. So
a
lot of people were caught up in, you know, all the holiday stuff and probably missed these projects. But check the list out. Go back, listen to these projects, man, because these people put in hard work for this. You know what I mean? And it still is good music. You know what I mean? It's good music out there.
Before I forget, let me because this album doesn't get as much mention as like all the rest. The Beat Minus Stifled Creativity. Go get that project.
Shout out to the homies Beat Minus.
Shout out to the whole boot camp clique.
No doubt.
It's basically a compilation of a lot of old school boot camp members and some new joints too. So definitely shout out to Evil D and Mr. Walt for making another solid project. Exactly. And it's been some years.
Yeah.
It's been some years since they came out with their
16 maybe.
I'm not exactly. It's been a minute,
something like that. But I mean, they've been in the works. I mean,
they've been in the works. You know, they still doing their thing. They still doing their stuff
Evil
like
D,
that.
I mean, he always traveling and DJing. Yeah, I mean, we saw him last year in Charlotte at Gene Brown's event.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, so big ups to Beat Miners. You know what I mean?
Okay, now the honorable mentions that I want to put out there, who dropped some projects too. First of all, homies from the South Cackalack.
Two. Yeah, they're two homies from the South.
Yeah. So you have Spectacular Mari, Beautiful Soul.
Right.
For those who are not familiar with Spectacular Mari has been out and they put out projects for a long time.
Late 90s,
he's did projects with Ninth Wonder, and it's always been top-notch production, top-notch albums that doesn't necessarily get that mainstream like that it should be, but it's definitely worth a listen to. It's definitely some head nod type of vibes.
Right.
So definitely, you know what I'm saying, get that Beautiful Soul, Spectacular Mari.
Right. Beautiful Soul, you know what I'm saying? It's a dope project, man. It's a throwback to, you know what I'm saying, when it was fun in hip hop, you know what I'm saying? And it's got some good messages on it as well. Like I said, these are the homies, you know, we all went to college together, roommates, that type of thing, you know what I'm saying? So these are brothers, you know what I'm saying, that put their love and heart into the art, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I mean? They're just doing it for the love of it, you know what I mean?
Another brother that came out was Black Mall.
Black Mall, again, another homie, you know what I'm saying, from South Carolina, by the way of New York, Connecticut. Dope producer, you know what I mean? He's been repping SC for a minute, you know what I mean? He's got a bunch of projects that are out on Spotify and all streaming platforms. So again, a good project. If you like instrumentals, you want something to vibe to, you know what I'm saying? Black Mall's Laboratory 2. Go check Laboratory 1. Again, he's got a lot of dope projects online.
And one, before I forget, before I make mention, because I actually went to her album release, Rhapsodies, Please Don't Cry.
Yes. Yeah, Rhapsody, dope MC. I mean, ain't too much you can not say about Rhapsody. I mean, I think she's like one of the MCs that picked up the torch that MC Lyte dropped. You know what I mean? Not that Lyte dropped the top, but you know what I'm saying?
Not like that. I'm just saying, so far as she's keeping that tradition of just keeping lyrical and just keeping it right, and just keep it, like not being hypersexual and, not being overly, you know what I'm saying, just not being over the top with it. She just keeps it in pocket with just lyrics and beats. So definitely, that was definitely worth a listen to. If you haven't listened to Rhapsody, you definitely want to check it out.
And again, this is just our little list, you know what I'm saying? And we were specifically talking about, you know, artists from the golden era, you know what I'm saying, throwback, you know what I'm saying, and the projects that they dropped, you know what I'm saying, these other projects that we talked about, again, are honorable mentions, but there are a lot more independent artists, you know what I'm saying, that dropped last year that have dope projects, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, our thing to you is to dig and search for good music because it's out there. You know what I'm saying? Do not get caught up in just what they play on the radio, because what they play on the radio is to me a lot of brainwashing stuff.
Not even just what they're funneling through the internet, what they're funneling through the Instagram, because it's like it's a lot of times where you don't get to see those out. Like you said, you got to do your due diligence into finding these albums and these projects that drop, because they don't get the spotlight like all the other projects that's
but you know what? We're going to shine the spotlight on them, because when you tuning in to Mood Slingers Magazine and The Cup, that's what the hell we do.
All right, man. So that was a cool rundown.
No doubt. So check us out. We got more to come. You know what I mean? Mood Slingers Magazine, your man Wyze9.
Your man D.Divine.
We'll talk to you later.
All right. Peace.